Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome back to another episode of Youth to Gold here on Cricket Captain 2024. I hope you're all doing very well. We've got 4 more games in the Vitality Blast to play today. We've got a few England fixtures to keep an eye on. There's a lot happening because we've got players overseas, we've got players coming back, we've got international players coming out the wazoo. It is very exciting times. We've got our 11 for the first game today up against Leicestershire. I believe it's the same 11 compared to the last game that we just played. So I don't think we've got any changes, but we've got Virat at the top of the order. We've got Rocky, Flintoff, Follett, Higgins, Markham is the top 5. Maxwell, Denley, Vaughan, Beasley, Brownlow, Milligan. I believe it's the same. Conditions-wise, we're looking pretty good. I think if we win the toss, we'll bat first yet again, because that has proven to be very helpful for us so far in this competition. They've got a very good 11. Vasconcelos is playing his first game against us since we released him last off-season. They've got Neesham, they've got Rayan Ahmed. They've got a good side. So we're going to call heads on the toss. We've lost the toss, but we've been put into bat, which is very interesting. If we have a look at the predictor, predicted score is 167. I usually don't worry about the odds too much. I'm more worried about the score. But yeah, 167 is pretty handy. If I can add 10 or 10 or 15 runs on top of that, that would be perfect. Rocky Flintoff really has struggled in the Vitality Blast so far this year. He's averaging about 10. 11.25. It's not been great. Virat only played 1 game last episode, but what he did do was score a really neat half century. He's had a very good IPL season, but we need runs out of Flintoff. It's been a couple of episodes since we've seen that. Markham, he has been really good in the first class stuff, got 3 consecutive hundreds, and then sort of fell off. But I'm excited to see what this team can do against Leicestershire today. Let's go. All-time record partnership in the Vitality Blast between Flintoff and Kohli. Almost cracked 200. None for 198 after 20 overs. Flintoff got finally some runs. 110 not out. 64 balls faced. It was dropped twice. 3 LBW appeals, 7 plays missed. I can't say it was chanceless. But a really good innings. Virat, another half century to his name. Second half century in a row for him for Northamptonshire, 84 of 58. We just batted really well. Flintoff hit a 6 off. He got his 100 before in the over before. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Almost got 200 on this wicket. Very, very happy. How is England going? Bannister's 2 for 34, which isn't too bad. But yeah, all out for 367, which we covered last episode. Bannister bowling very, very well. How many tests has he played now? We need to have a look. He's played 7 tests, 21 wickets at 27.95. So he's bowling quite well. Obviously not as well as he has been domestically, but still a very good start to the English summer, I suppose, for him. There's also a few other games going on right now. The predictor has Leicestershire scoring 183. We're a 52% chance of winning, which, I'll take, but again, I'm more concerned about the actual result rather than what is a predicted total. Tim Walker, who's played a bit of international cricket, is one of their opening bats. Vasconcelos, how's he been going this season? He's currently averaging 33 in first class cricket, not that much in T20. Sol Budinger is a player. Lawrence Roundtree, I know, is a leg spinner that we looked at signing, I believe, at the end of season 1, but he has played T20 cricket for England, hasn't taken any wickets yet, hasn't bowled very well at all, but very excited to potentially get some more wickets here to start the episode. Milligan's got the new ball. Let's see how we do. Another massive victory. Leicestershire got absolutely stuffed in this one. We win by 101 runs. The spinners were absolutely incredible on this wicket. Brownlow 4 for 18, career best figures for him. Vaughan 2 for 29 was good. Denley 2 for 9. Maxwell 1 for 7. The fast bowlers, even though they didn't get that many wickets, were really economical. I think we bowled 3 maidens in this game. It was really, really good. Flintoff for his 110 gets player of the game. No real surprise there. How are England doing? Bannister's got 4 for 70 in New Zealand's first innings. Bowled them all out for 258. And England are currently at 1 for 37. Sri Lanka really piling on the runs in their second innings. Very, very interesting. Our next game is Worcestershire away, and they are currently sitting in 5th. We are in 3rd still. Worcestershire, how is Nottinghamshire in 4th? Wow, they've lost 4 games out of 6. Just the net run rate is awful on those other teams down below. But yeah, the top 3 is basically tied up at this point. There's no catching them. In the first test against New Zealand, we can see that England are still batting. They're 6 for 426. There's been 2 run-outs. It looks like Crawley's got 100, Root got 100 and got run out. Brooke and Atkinson have put on quite a good partnership for the 7th wicket. And Bannister really hasn't been required with the bat in this second innings. I'm very excited for this next game, Worcestershire at Worcester. From a batting point, I don't really think I need to change anything because there's really only Coley and Flintoff in that innings. With the ball, we've been pretty successful with this lineup. Milligan's been good, Brownlow's been awesome, Beasley's in good form. Vaughan's been really good, which has been surprising, although he is a little expensive. Denley, I mean, a lot of that sort of performance has been from when he was playing for Kent. But if we have a look at this current season, he's got 3 wickets at 9, which is awesome. 8.84 economy. And Maxwell, if we have a look at the games for us, he's got 4 wickets, 7.25 economy of 6. So he's actually been statistically the best bowler on the team, and he's only played 2 games. So I think we just leave it the same as is. I did, at the start of the episode, consider bringing in Sykes, but I really wasn't sure who for. But considering all that's happened since the episode has started, I'm just going to leave the team as is. I don't think we've bowled first this last campaign. We've called tails on the toss and won. Very flat deck. It's bat first again. And I think we actually played Worcestershire in the first game of the season, if I remember correctly. David Gray, who we signed for the Manchester Originals, has had a couple of decent starts, but then got 71 not out. Isn't doing too bad for his career. In terms of the other players that they have, they've got Ethan Brooks, who plays for the Manchester Originals. Rahul Singh's one of their overseas players. He's been really good in the IPL, as it looks like, this season. Josh Cobb used to play for us. Barry Carter's really good. Who is their other overseas player? It is Saud Shakil. He hasn't been that great in the T20 stuff. He's been decent in the first class stuff. It's a flat deck. I reckon 180 is minimum here. 7 for 217 is another big score. Flintoff got us off to an absolute flyer. Coley, first struggle score of the season. Follett was incredible. 63 off 33. Higgins uncharacteristically got out early. Very uncharacteristic of him. Markham gets his first 50 in T20 cricket. He's off to a good start in his career. Maxwell, basically a 4 and out. Denley, again, about to run a ball is sort of what his pace is in T20 cricket, but he's done well so far with the bat. He's batted twice and he's not gotten out yet. His career strike rate's 106. We'll look to improve that over the course of time. Vaughan hit a couple of 6s and got out, and Beasley was 6 off 9 towards the end. Bowling wise, Jack Home was the only one who bowled it under 10 runs and over, which was quite funny. If we look at the score for England, they've declared 8 for 531. Bannister gets a first ball duck. His first duck of his test career. He's yet to take a wicket in the second innings. Hasn't actually bowled yet, which I'm pretty sure he opened the bowling in the first innings for them, which was quite funny. Sri Lanka have beaten the West Indies after Madushka got 145 in their second dig. Very, very good work by them. Worcestershire were competitive, but they couldn't quite get it done. We win by 7 runs. All of our bowlers were pretty expensive, with the exception of Maxwell. Beasley was pretty good, got a wicket with the final ball of the innings. Milligan was terrible. Denley, who was actually our third cab off the rank with the ball, picked up 1 for 35. Vaughan and Brownlow picked up 2 apiece, but conceded over 40 runs each. We were very lucky to win this one in the end. We'll have a look at the England game again. New Zealand need 1 wicket to win. Bannister, 3 for 22. Very, very good figures for him so far in this game. Bowling average for England in Test cricket now is 24.81. He is doing very, very well. Sri Lanka have beaten the West Indies, as we know. T20 100 to Ben Stokes. 112 off 55. Very, very good score for him. He's having a very, very good season so far. We'll have a look at the tables in a sec. Who got player in the game in the end? It was Follett for his 63. Another win for us in the Vitality Blast. As things stand with the table, we're currently sitting in second. We've jumped above Yorkshire, and with a positive net run rate, the net run rate's about 0.7 better than Lancashire. So if we win our next game, we hop up into first place in the south. Somerset still unbeaten. So we've got competition there, potentially in the knockout stage. England win their first test by 450 runs. Duckett gets player of the game. Bannister ends with 3 for 25. Ahmed, 4 for 76. We'll save that scorecard for our off-season review. And in the third ODI, we can see Josh Inglis, our reserve overseas player, gets 106. Davies gets out for 3 and Smith gets out for 32. We've now got Durham away, who they're actually in 4th place, so they are well positioned. They've only played the 5 games. They've got a really good record of 3 and 2. So with a win, they could potentially hop up into 3. We've got to do something about Milligan, because he's not been very good in the T20s. He's averaging 31 with the ball and 8.59 economy, which isn't, the economy I'm not too worried about. It's more just the bowling average, which is not great. We could go in a different direction with him. If we have a look at the second 11 just for this season, I'm not even concerned about career. Nobody is really performing that well with the ball. I know Kelly has got a very good sort of first-class record or 3-day record in the second 11 this season. Sykes hasn't been good with the ball. Willie's been better with the ball, picked up 4 for 28 in the last game. Hasn't been that great with the bat, but just this year hasn't been great in terms of economy. He's been taking wickets, but that's not really something that I particularly want to do. We could make some improvements with the bat potentially. If we have a look just at T20 career, we could bring in Foyle, who hasn't played for a little while, but I think we should probably bring in another fast bowler. We could give Minto a bit of a go. He's not in the best of form is the only thing, but does have a very good T20 record. Langridge is a very good, actually he hasn't got he's got a bad record, but I was going to say he's got a good record in T20 cricket as well as 3-day cricket. It's a better record than Minto, so that's a direction we could go in. I'm a little bit stuck. We could persevere with Milligan for a little bit longer, because if we have a look at the second 11 T20 record, the only one that has a better record is Armstrong, and we don't really need another spin bowler, and Langridge. So that's a bit of a sideways move, but in terms of the 3-day stuff, he's the best bowler that we do have apart from Armstrong per the second 11 stats. So I think we just persevere for now, and if it keeps not, we're still winning games, so it's not as if we're in a terrible position or anything, but if it keeps going downhill, we may need to make a change. Maxwell is getting very close to getting an injury, so we may need to stick some physio on him, but I'm going to persevere with this lineup for now. I'm going to put some physio on Maxwell, and then we'll get into today's game. We're going to call tails on the toss. We've lost the toss. It's a flat deck, and we are going to bowl, which is not ideal. Russell is in the team. Ben Stokes, who he's covered, got 100 in their last game, and he got 84 not out in the game before that, so he's in very good nick. We've done better than expected, but an expensive last over has really pushed us into a position that we didn't want to be in. It's 7 for 155 for Durham. It's not terrible, but I wish we did a little bit better than this. Brownlow was expensive. Maxwell was expensive. Milligan, 3 for 23. Best return of the season, I believe. Yes, it is, which is great. Denley was great, 3 for 21. A couple of changeovers from Vaughan wasn't too bad either, but we've got a job to do. Chase down 156. I think I'm quietly confident that we can get it done. The predictor has us, scoring 150, but that takes into account a few occasions where we don't do as well. But they've got a good bowling lineup. They've got Potts, obviously, who I don't think he would have played Test semi recently. He last played a Test in 2025, so that would be last season. They've got Russell, obviously, Stokes. I don't know how much Stokes bowls nowadays, but we've got a good batting lineup. Hopefully, we don't lose too many wickets early. Durham have won the game by 1 run, thanks to an LBW call to Ben Stokes, who ended up taking 3 for 33. A very good bowling performance by him. We were 5 for 71 at one stage. Then a really good partnership between Maxwell and Denley, of all people, got us to a point where we felt like we were a chance of winning. But then the last 5 wickets fell for 14 runs. And we lose, unfortunately. Only our second loss of the campaign. Denley with a career high 43 not out. Very, very good performance by him. If we had won, I dare say he gets player of the game. He may even get it anyway, which he actually does, which is, I mean, good for him. Good little confidence boost, but annoying that we couldn't get the win. Sussex beat Essex by 10 runs. Any other crazy results here? I don't think so. But as I said, only our second loss of the season in actually any format. We haven't lost a game in the championship so far, but Lancashire 6-1, we're 5-2. Somerset are still 6-0. They haven't played their 7th game yet. It's now time for the final game of the episode. It's another away game. We're up against Warwickshire, who are in 6th, and you would think we would win this game. They are 3-4 at the moment, but they're really bad net run rate. Yorkshire are currently 4-3. Lancashire 7-1. Somerset have pounced up to 7-0. Look at that net run rate. Absolutely incredible. Warwickshire are also in 7th in the county championship, so they're not having a good season at all after absolutely smoking the first season of the county championship. Again, I think we go unchanged. There's no real thing for us to do here. Kelly is in amazing form, but it's mainly with the bat, not so much with the ball. So again, fast bowling wise, there's nothing really for us to do. Any changes to make? I don't think so. So again, we'll keep the same team. I'm pretty happy with how it's been going. Conditions is actually very friendly for pace bowling, so we may drop a spinner, but I don't know who we would bring in. We could go bring David Willey in, but I don't really want to. I think he's just past it, and because he's still contracted, he's still here. So yeah, I think we'll just leave it as is. It's the final game of the episode. We're up against a not particularly strong team, although they do have some decent players. We've lost the toss and been put into bat. Predictor has us scoring a fairly strong total of 175. Josh Hazelwood is here. He's had a very good season so far for Warwickshire, I believe. 25 bowling average in the county championship, and he's been pretty good in the Blast as well. They've got Abdul Farsi, who I can't say I've heard of, but does have a decent record in all formats. They've got Sam Hain, who's a very good limited overs player, who I've said many times before. Saif Zabe, who used to play for us. He's now playing for Warwickshire. They've got a very, small smattering of other players who are semi-decent. 191 for 3. Pretty good total. We had a couple of good starts from Coley, Flintoff and Follett. Nobody really kicked on. Higgins was actually batting really slowly, which was a little unfortunate, but Markham kind of saved the innings. 44 off 22. Really good stuff from him. His strike rate in T20 cricket's 181 so far. For a guy who's defensive in T20 cricket, I like it very much. Higgins, I think his only average aggression, he's also 174, so maybe that doesn't matter as much as I thought it would. But 3 for 191 is very competitive on this wicket. How are England going? Bannister's got the first wicket of the first innings for them. He also got 29 with the bat, which is great. Crawley got 163 to go with his 111 from the last test. I couldn't quite remember what it was. So England looked like they're doing very well. What's his face playing? I can't remember his name. Fulks. No, he's not playing, it doesn't seem. But Arjit Hills who is a player for us in the Manchester Originals. He's not had a good series by the look of it, so very interesting to keep on top of that. 192 at 9.6 runs per over is very defendable, especially if we've got a fast bowling wicket. Their strength is mainly in their bowling, and we've exploited that, so I'm thinking we've got a comprehensive victory here. Team hat-trick ball. Maxwell to Zay. Bowls in. First ball. What a delivery by Maxwell. Pitched outside off. Hits middle. Terrific ball. But unfortunately, it's a team hat-trick, not a Maxwell hat-trick. But still, great result. That is game. Warwickshire all out for 164. We win by 27 runs. Milligan and Brownlow tie up this innings. There was actually only 3 wicket takers in this one. Well, 4 if you count the run out. But Milligan, 3 for 24 again was really good. Brownlow, 4 for 23. His second 4-fer of the season. How many wickets does he have for the season? 16 wickets in the 8 games so far. Maxwell, little cameo of 2 for 7, excuse me, not 2 for 27. A couple of expensive bowlers in Denley, Vaughan and Beasley, but a pretty good performance in this one. Vasey, who was the 9th man to go, got 83, was really only shining light in this one. Hazelwood hit a 6 and then got caught in the deep in the last over. And with that result, we stay in second place. Everybody, actually, except for Worcestershire and Nottinghamshire, but Nottinghamshire played 9 games. Everybody's played 8 games. We're still in second, as I said. Somerset finally lose a game, but they are well on top of the South Division. 6 games to go in the Vitality Blast group stage. We'll have to wait and see how this all wraps up. And just quickly before we wrap up today's episode, we can see in this England game, Ahmed gets another 5 for 61 to his name. Absolutely killing it at international level, just at 18 years old. Has been really good. Bannister, 3 for 83 in New Zealand's first innings. 10 wickets in 3 games has been really good. And Crawley also back-to-back hundreds for him. He now has a test average of 40, which is well above what he's got in real life. But absolutely incredible. We now have Warwickshire in the county championship. Our next bunch of games are county championship games. So just have a quick look to see how many we have. I went down too far. We've got Warwickshire in the championship. Then we've got the rest of the Blast games. And then we've got championship game, final Blast group stage game. And I believe there may be some 100 games happening in and around this period. So our next game is a home game, but that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for everybody that watched this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until then, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys then. Bye.